So in a nutshell, this guy is arguing with someone who confesses to not knowing much about evolution. And then when that guy says something that is essentially true about evolution, the grumpy guy pulls out a couple of terms that the naive guy will definitely not understand, and then will use them to bash that guy over the head. In other words, he was just being a jerk. There is a lot more to evolution than just mutation and natural selection, but that's a fine place to start. And this seems to be this guy's MO. I mean, here he is speaking to Aaron Ra, who is not naive about evolution, and doing roughly the same thing.
I'm shocked you're saying this. And you're on YouTube. Are you drunk or something?
So all you're
You're telling me did Darwin write about genetic drift?
Darwin didn't know about genetic
Exactly.
drift.
So Darwin's main idea was natural selection.
So Darwinian evolution refers only to what Darwin himself proposed,
No.
right? The Darwinian mechanisms, natural and sexual
Wait,
selection.
hang on, Aaron.
So that-
You're really embarrassing yourself here.
No, I'm not.
You're saying the primary driver of evolution is genetic drift?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what I want you to do? I want you to go down the road to the Royal Society. You've just discovered something amazing because according to them, they believe Darwin was right. Natural selection is the primary driving force. Of course, some of them disagree,
Darwin was right, and in his time, he didn't know about genetic drift.
but Aaron, you're saying genetic drift is the primary factor?
Yes.
You need to write a paper and you need to challenge all the Darwinists.
Alright, so here he's accusing Aaron Ra of being drunk, or embarrassing himself, because he suggests that genetic drift is a primary driver of evolutionary change in populations. Which is true. And keep in mind, this guy is the one posting these videos of himself. It's not like he's being caught making these ignorant and unnecessarily rude statements. Nope. This is the side of his arguments that he wants to present to the world. And in case you're not aware of genetic drift, I'll explain it for a minute. So, alleles are different versions of a gene. Looking at our snakes from before, there is an allele that codes for pigments to attach to the skin and scales, and there is a different allele that codes for those pigments not to attach to the skin and scales, called leucism. So those are alleles. The allele frequency is how prevalent an allele is in the population versus the total number of alleles for a given gene. For example, if I have a population of 5 snakes, one like this with 2 copies of the leucistic alleles, 3 like this with 2 copies of the not leucistic alleles, and 1 like this with 1 copy of each allele, then the allele frequencies would be 7 out of 10, or 0.7 for not leucistic, and 3 out of 10, or 0.3, leucistic. If possessing one or the other of these alleles increases the likelihood of reproducing, then the allele frequency for that allele will increase over time. And this is selection. It's not random. But let's say that a fire comes through and kills one of these and one of these. I would have no reason to suspect that their deaths had anything to do with their genes or colorations, just random chance. But the allele frequencies would change to 5/6 or 0.83333 repeating, and 1/6 or 0.166666 repeating. If a flood washed these 2 snakes to a new island where they started a new population, then the allele frequency of the new population would be 0.5 and 0.5. Heck, if these 2 bred and produced 2 offspring, which by random chance both inherited the leucistic allele from this parent, then the allele frequency would change from 0.75 and 0.25 to 1.0 and 0. In none of these cases did the allele frequency change because one of the alleles worked better than the other. It was just random chance. And a change in allele frequency caused by random chance is called genetic drift. And it's extremely common, especially in small populations. But who cares about being right when you could be undeservedly confident and rude?